Hey guys, this is going to be the FLW BFL Regional on Grand Lake. If you haven't seen already, I've got some practice videos out for this tournament, so if you watch those first, you'll kind of get an idea of what I was going into the tournament with. But anyway, first day of the tournament, give you a kind of a rundown. I was starting out fishing some shallow laydowns, things like that, in practice early on. That's what I got onto, and I kind of thought that bite was still going to be really good. I had sampled some other stuff, wasn't going good for me. So this first day of the tournament, which this is a 3-day tournament, so first 2 days are full field, then the third day is the top 12. But really, you know, you're wanting to do really good in this one because you can move on to the All-American. So you're kind of, it's a go big or go home situation. So that's what I'm doing. I'm, fishing for really big bites, and upper end of the lakes where I thought I could do that. So that's where I started out, up in the Elk River. We'll get on to the tournament now. This will be day 1, and I apologize for the camera angle. I mounted the camera at the back of the boat for this tournament. I usually don't do that. I usually mount it right in front of the console, and there's a good reason for that because there's a co-angler back there, and a lot of times they get in the way of the shot. I thought that maybe I could switch it up and it would work out. It didn't, so if you watch this and this is your first time you've seen one of my videos, I promise you I don't always have that camera at the back where you can't hardly see anything on some of the catches. But here we go. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Like, subscribe to the channel.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll do an explanation of why the celebration and why that fish was such a big deal to me that morning is because I had not really checked this pattern very much over the last few days. I found it really early in practice, and I wasn't really sure if it was still going to be good or if it was actually as good as I thought it was at all. But I came back in there specifically to fish just a few laydowns in the back of this pocket, and that fish was on the first one that I threw at. So this is like 20 minutes from takeoff into the tournament. I drove back there, went ahead and started at the start of this pocket and fished some docks and things, and then got back here right where I thought that fish was supposed to be. I threw up there and it was a 4.5 pounder. Now going into a tournament this big, that is a really exciting thing to happen in the morning because you now are going into a pattern that you expected to be there. The fish was right where you wanted it to be, and you have all day to catch 4 more that size to put yourself in a really good spot going into day 2. So that was where the excitement was over that 4.5 pounder and why it was such a big deal. But we'll get on to the rest of the tournament here.
We got one that made the team.
Not a 4-pounder, but hey.
So this is the area where I picked up my second keeper on the first day. I mean, really just like the first spot. It's kind of a longer pocket that came back in. Right as it started to get shallow, there was a lay down under the water right here. Bounced that square bill off the end of it and caught a fish that was sitting on it. So kind of the same deal, just two completely different parts of the lake though.
Okay, so what I did, and it's the exact same thing I did on Chickamauga last year in my regional. I put myself in a huge hole after day one. I got that awesome bite right at the start of the day. That was in the first 20 minutes of the tournament. First spot I stopped on, right where I thought he was supposed to be, right on the end of a laydown, threw a square bill up there, 4.5 pounder. And that was, I mean, those were like the bites you need to get, you know, in that top part of the tournament. So I fished around like that for hours and hours, and I was trying other things. I promise you I wasn't just running around, you know, throwing the square bill, not thinking of other things. I tried some other things, and I couldn't put it together. Later on in the day, I finally got another bite on a square bill, and it's the same thing, but it was just the fish weren't sitting, or there weren't as many fish sitting there as I thought there were, based on what I ran into in practice. So that's what happened. And now I'm going out on day 2, and I'm going to switch it up a little bit. And still I had the decision to run and just trash everything and run to the lower end of the lake. And I thought about it, but I still thought that the bigger bites were going to be on the upper end. So I dedicated the second day to try to make up a lot of weight. And here's what happened.
That's what I had to do. I just had to get the net out. Throw it to it. You just grab it. Good one. It's really bad to do the whole time. Fucking net that one. That works. Really bad to do the whole time.
Okay, so that's what happened. Terrible tournament. I went for broke the second day and didn't get the bites that I was looking for. It was like I got worse the second day instead of better, which was horrible. But anyway, it happens. Got to shake it off and go on the next season, because here in about 2 weeks, I am fishing my first ever Costa Series event on Toledo Bend. So that's going to be a really fun tournament. I already went down there and pre-fished just a little bit a few weeks ago and caught some big fish down there. So that's going to be a fun tournament. Hopefully good things to come, because I'm fishing the Southwestern Costa Series this year. So Toledo Bend, Fort Gibson, Sam Rayburn. It's going to be a good season. Like, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one, and wish me luck.